My name's Christopher Buckley. I'm known as GI as my performance name. I've been performing and producing music since I'm 15. I've probably been performing since I'm about 11. I was introduced to Access Art Centre when I was 15. I done my first kind of major gig here as an individual rather than kind of reciting other people's lyrics and writing my own lyrics. And since then I've never stopped. I was 30 years of age now. I'm doing it 15 years, and it's been the best years of my life. Have been gigging and making music and just all the natural occurrences that happened and synchronistic things that happened that I kind of find when you're on the right path, things kind of fall at your feet. And I kind of, because I kind of fell out of music for a couple of years, I'm able to see this and see it for what it is. I produced probably over hundreds of tunes. I've had multiple different projects with lads in the UK and lads over here as well, like where they started me groundwork. I can produce multiple different genres. I love drum and bass, I love house music, I love everything. It's all, even stuff that I probably did dislike. I was always curious about the production technique, even dubstep and other things. I was like, even though I probably don't like it, but I want to know how they did that. So I was always curious, and I always was persistent with music, and I always got something. So what I put in, I always got back, and I haven't stopped since.
How's it going? My name is Gary Mitchell from Finglas. My performance name is Mitchellangelo. Probably on the scene the last 20 years doing the music. Started out probably DJing when I was 15. Done that for 10 years. I'm still doing the DJing. Probably more dancing on the dance scene, club scene. Started getting into the met the boys. I know the boys from young boy. Started DJing for them around 2010, 2011. Started getting more into the rap and the production and all myself. But I do a lot of other work as well. I do I'm an artist. I do graffiti, do tattoos, tea work, healing, few bits and bobs to keep myself busy. But saying myself, I probably suffered drug addiction in my early life. Went through bad depression and all, and then kind of turned to creativity and all, just to keep the vibe high. It's kind of, I kind of tell most of the lads a 15-minute thing, like give yourself 15 minutes a day, just to keep your vibe, but like use creativity. It could be anything from making music, some of the lads do a bit of exercising and all, just different stuff, just to put your focus on yourself. So when you put your focus on yourself, it just gives you that little time, helps focus the mind and all, clears the clutter. And most of the time there's too much stuff going on, like I just learned it myself. It's my own technique from through the years, but it helps an awful lot, like.
We come from working class areas, so we come from, Jared knows, we're from Ballymun, Finglas, Carberry, all the lads that we all kind of go through similar things. We go through more traumatic events than anyone normally would, and the thing of showing adversity to come out the other side of it was persistence and music. So like if I can, a lot of it was we were all aggressive young lads, and we had to have this front on us, and it was all, which is detrimental to your mental health when you're constantly in survival mode, when you leave your house. That's the way we were years ago, and then be able to kind of control that and be able to control all this aggression and build up things. And like my way of doing that is performing live, and everything just comes off my chest. And I'm starting to notice that with younger lads that are coming through as well, that I was like, once you can control that and you can use it and utilise it rather than in a negative form, you're doing it in a positive light, and you're able, the energy itself is fed back and forward, and it's what you put in, what you get out. And Gary would have been a big help to all of us in Working Class Records. Open us up to mindfulness, and just even the rapping is attached to the ego. And one thing I learned about production with producers, the ego kind of dissolves and everyone just appreciates everyone. With rapping, you kind of have to have that ego because you're rapping about how good you are, right? But what I noticed was Gary opened our minds to meditation, to energy healing, and how this is all incorporated, because it's all, for me, it's it's almost building your energy back up to go again. You're building up this fresh, positive energy. And even about energy attachments, you just helping someone out. You're giving a positive attachment. You kind of, if you're giving out about someone, you're giving negative. And this, for us, I was able to get a broad understanding of energy and how to project it. And one of the first instances I had of energy was in New York. So I met lunatic. I was 17. He wouldn't have known who I was. I would have known who he was. And I was homesick. It was my first rehearsal in the theatre. And we sat in a circle. And when it came to me, I just exploded. And I could see Dean Scuddy with tears in his eyes. I was like, what are you crying for? But Dan noticed me, lunatic noticed me, because, like, more or less, who are you? Like, I kind of grabbed his attention. But all that was a burst of energy. And I could feel him. It was like I was drained after doing it. And that was my first kind of encounter with energy. You understand that it's real. And like the power it has, but I still didn't have a grasp of it until I met Gary, and he was able to show me. Like, and his whole ethos or kind of way of approaching it is, you can do anything you want. Like, he's a tattoo artist, he's a producer, he's a DJ. Like, he's one of the best artists alone, but multiple different styles. You doesn't just ground yourself to one thing, and that's what I found. Like, this helped a lot of us in what we are doing, and it took a lot of this kind of. It's just to be open and appreciate everyone's artwork and appreciate everyone's energy. So that, for me, that was a big thing. And I think we found a nice balance with incorporating both the music, the art, the energy and the healing. And this all comes into mindfulness and mental health as well, because we all suffered mental health issues. And it's kind of the showing adversity and getting over it was the main thing for us. And to be honest, I can see that from it's all trial and error, and you can see this in young lads' lives. So for us, if we can kind of help them with that and help them understand it early on, it could make a hell of a lot of a difference for us anyway. And that's what we try and portray in our music and in our art.
Yeah, I had a lot of it trying to understand, say, my feelings and emotions. It was because, like, I didn't understand the cheese stuff. I learned it later on in life, but when I was growing up through my 20s now, I had all sorts of stuff I was going through. I went to see a counsellor. Counsellor stopped seeing me. She told me she wouldn't even talk to me. She sent me a letter telling me to go paint my feelings out. Then I went out on my own path trying to figure out what was up, and I started turning like more into the creative stuff. Like, say, that stage I was more kind of not doing. I was fairly creative at that stage. I was at the learning how to draw. I was doing DJing, but say for a period I wasn't doing much, and I felt myself going down, like felt myself draining and all. But then, kind of when after the council stopped seeing me, I went out and just started putting the focus on myself, and then that's where I kind of learned, like, it's all about putting your focus on you, and then you're vibing a lot higher, like. But when from then, like, I started, like, say the end of my 30s or the end of my 20s, kind of start like learning a lot, start getting into the shade, and I start learning like stuff about energy. And like, it's the feelings that was coming up, like that I had coming up. So when I was sitting with them and all, I start visioning a lot of stuff, trying to explain it to a lot of people. Like, I never really got answers over the years, but turned into a kind of a good gift, and I was able to, like, what I can do, like myself, I can show others as well with the energy. And then I use my music and my art and my music fuels it. It's like when I keep connected to that aspect, like, it's like the battle of the soul and ego, I say, within it. It's within everyone. It's like the good and bad within us. But like, if we have hurt aspects and all, and we don't deal with it, it keeps repeating. It keeps us in repeated cycles, where I use the creativity and all, like, to help bring stuff up, and then use that then as a kind of as a vibe, like, to keep you, like, fucking from the hurt aspect. It keeps you on a clear path, and it takes you, kind of heals the hurt as you go along, like. But I've used that, I've kind of used it on a lot of things, like the chi now, like, I help a lot of people now, for all sorts, like with depression, people, suicidal, I get all sorts of people like coming to me, but I just with all sorts of just normal issues, and all doesn't be associated with the music sometimes. But my own aspect is a lot with the creativity. Like, the art and music is my own fuel for my own chi. Like, if I don't do my art and music, like, my chi levels will go down, my soul, I just put as my soul. Like, so the more I feel my soul, the more I vibe, the more higher I vibe. If I feel my ego, I see a lot of fucking dark stuff. I start going into like a darker side of things. So I keep the vibe high and keep my mind up in the heavens. Like, I was kind of explaining to the lads as well, I'd see a lot of stuff that goes on in the subconscious where people would get a lot more of the feelings of it. So when people are feeling, it's the same thing. When their mind is getting negative thoughts or starting, it's usually a sign that a vibration is low. It's in a certain level of consciousness. But once you start putting your focus on you and start raising your vibration, it raises up out of that level of consciousness up into higher levels of consciousness, where you start getting clearer thinking and better thoughts coming into the mind and all. Like. So we've only got one rule. First rule is like get over looking stupid. So it's just really getting over yourself. It's the only way I'll end it, like it's just getting over yourself. Once you can get over yourself, you have the possibility to do anything you want, like. Yeah, you're more free.
Ego, that's it.
Yeah, it's an ego, like it's getting over your.
Afraid to be embarrassed, know what I mean?
Yeah, so it leaves you opens up your possibilities then that you can do anything. Like once, as I said, we're all our own worst enemies at the end of the day. So once we kind of face ourselves and take that part or that step to kind of confront ourselves, then we get over the ego and we're able to move on like in more positive directions. Like it's always that aspect, the hurt aspect, stops us doing stuff. When you kind of realise that, then like you're able to step away from the hurt and then move on. Like
it's also good to know that there's other people out there, because everyone thinks, or even if someone's in good form and you're in bad form, you almost envy people like that, and they're going. Whereas, like, the way I look at it is, there's other people out there, they just learned how to deal with it, or they even learned how to control it or master it, like everyone's in the same boat. We all start in the same playing field. So it's just about like just taking in, like letting for the big thing is the ego thing. If you let your ego down and able to take in what someone's saying to you, like what Gary said, it's sometimes you're your own worst enemy, in that you have to let your ego go down for you to, like, so you don't feel embarrassed or you don't feel like, do you know what I mean? Whereas I think like this is a non-conventional way. It's a new way of being brought through as well. Like even frequency healing. If I haven't got someone like Gary, I do always just, if I can't get hold of Gary's busy, I'll be listening to frequencies. You can go to YouTube or help you sleep, just healing frequencies, and there's science behind it. The science is there, like it's all behind it. It's all frequencies and vibrations and energy. And when you start to understand that, it's not mysticism, it's not any of this, it's there's science behind it.
Yeah, the mysticism is out of the way now. Like I can show people like straight out now, like the spirit world does with change, you know what I mean? So like we can take the kind of skepticism side of things over. But it's a shortcut to enlightenment. You can enlighten your way. The IT people, like, I put them in, you just sit there and relax. But I work on people to cross them over into the spirit world. And the more you cross the certain aspects of yourself through your soul life, where you have to be enlightened. So I try to reconnect people back to the enlightened aspect, where it helps, like, this brings about enlightenment in people. It's like a shortcut to enlightenment. But then when you kind of hit peaks like that, then it helps, like, your mind just goes into peace. It's like hitting the reset button on your mind sometimes, like. Most of the time, yeah, people, like, a lot of people, like, I have people, like, that saying that they couldn't have kids and all. And I kind of explain, like, stuff. It says there's imbalances within us, and when you go in and heal them, I says you're able to. I've done a few people like that, and they went off and they were able to have kids and all that. They had kids after, like. So you see a lot. You see a lot of miracles now with the chi. I make my own miracles as well then with the music, and I try blowing on my more than anyone else's, like. So that's myself, like, I'm more like a hobbyist, like. So I was always out. I could never do that, and like growing up. So like the first thing I probably learned was drawing. Like one of the uncles in my class was good at drawing. And I remember he showed me how to draw Ken and Royale. And it's no way. And I kept practicing and drawing other stuff. And eventually you get better and better. So I put that down. Like if you take one thing, put that 15 minutes a day practicing that, you can be good at within a year, just with 15 minutes a day. Like it just says we spend like hours on the phone a day now. So take 15 minutes out and give it back to yourself. And you see the progress within a year and anything. I take down 15 minutes, but I go OTT with them. I probably do 10 different things, like take down 15 minutes and do 10 things, you know what I mean? And put a few hours in, but I learn an awful lot of stuff. I'm more about gaining knowledge and wisdom and put more time and skills into myself than that else, like.
Small as well, small habits, small good habits that you bring into your life, because you're working with. Sometimes I had to step away from the music and I had to go back and work on site, and I could never get in the same mode. Like I hadn't got just that mentality of breaking down. I jump on the laptop for 15 minutes. It was like I had to do a full day's work just to open the laptop and turn the thing on, and I understood that, and I was like, I was like, even though it's so simple, I found it extremely difficult to do, and I understand where it's come from. So all these, and sometimes I have real life stuff that might get in the way, but 15 minutes a day, and like almost, even you could probably get 30 minutes out of it once you get into it. It's just breaking down boundaries that you create for yourself in your mind.
That's it, like usually when you start off doing 15 minutes a day and you find out like that, gives you that little ignition in your soul, like you always spend, like if you end up drifting off for hours doing it anyway, but 15 minutes is usually perfect timing to start. It's not long at all. Just a little bit.
Sometimes it comes for you. So Creative Waves, I have a track called Creative Waves, and MF Doom has a cut on it. He's just talking about sometimes you just have to subside, and then when the wave comes, ride it and make sure you capitalise on this creative wave. And this is where we get some of our best work, like as well, like where you just go, oh, do you know what? And it just flows. It flows naturally, and it could only last 15 minutes. It could last 2 hours, but the creative wave of it is enjoy it and don't let it pass. And when you can feel that energy or that wave of creativity come, jump on it and ride it. So I mean, that's the way we go. Look, to just ride the wave, and that's the way. There's a lot of different ways energy can kind of encapsulate you, and I think as well as that, just even surrounding yourself with people like that are interested in it. A lot of the time, you can see some people they'll get into groups of people, young lads. They'll get in with groups of people that haven't got don't have the shared interest with them. So they're trying to be something they're not. They're trying to impress people that they don't even share the same interests with. So you don't know where their head's at. And I have a lot of respect for people that are comfortable in their own skin and are able to go, oh, this is what I'm interested in. I want to wear these clothes. I don't want to wear what he's wearing. I want to learn the violin. I want to learn this. And it takes balls. It takes courage to be able to go, I am who I am, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. That's one thing the lunatic Daniel MacDonald kind of set the way for all of us to do. He walks out with a bower on and a cardigan, and he's one of the illest rappers.
It does. It's what makes you humble. Like when I was doing all the stuff growing up and all, I'd have a lot of people, friends, and even family and all, like trying to slag you or put you down for doing stuff like. But as it says, like when they kind of get over that aspect, like then they're all saying, "Oh, look at him now. We can do everything."
You can prove them wrong with your ability and your art, and not even that it's a spiteful thing that you're trying to spite them. It's more of a thing that you're going, do you know what? I stand out in my work, and I'm happy with my work, and they can see the work that's put into it.
Yeah, I look at it as like more like you might have a little bit of self-doubt in the back of the head, so then the world kind of reflects it a little bit. As I said, I'm a bit of a slagger as well, so like it was just the abuse used to get growing up. But I just stood there. I didn't give a bollocks. I just went ahead and just done my thing. Put up with the slaggings and just went ahead, just stand.
We're all seen as dreamers, though. This is the thing.
Yeah, like that's.
If I said when I was 15, I want to be a music producer, he'd be scoffing at you, and they'll kind of put you. And it's without them even probably putting you down. They're putting you down, but you're automatically going, no, you can't. I'm going, who can't? I've performed with my favourite artists. I've had the best years of my life. I've been gigging with these lads. I used to dream when I was a kid about getting dragged up on stage at a gig and being able to perform for my favourite rappers. And I performed at every single one of them. Like all my favourite rappers, like 9 out of 10 of them I've got to do that with. And I'm saying to young lads now coming through, going, that's not our reach. Like all it takes is work, and for you to, and it's not as if you see it as a job. Like I said, when you put the work in, things fall at your feet. Synchronistic things happen. So many synchronistic things happen for us. Even like, for example, our friend died. We were halfway through an album with him, and he was the leader. He was the one who was showing us the ropes, and we only had a year or two with him. And by the time it took us a year to get that album done, and the Friday we got that album pressed up, we got a phone call to play with Wu-Tang, who was one of his favourites and her favourite artists groups, like hip hop groups. And for that like I still see that as a sign going, that's dang on fair play to us for getting the album done. That she's got it done. And that week we got that, and we weren't offered the gig. The informatics were offered the gig, and we were given. He goes, no, you have to get these boys. We don't want them. We haven't got any material. We haven't got any new albums out. He goes, you have to get these boys, and that was stemmed from what Lunatic, what Daniel MacDonald had like his relationship with these boys. So like all that, for me, that's a synchronistic thing that happens. Just one example of it. It was a bit, for us it was a reward. Like even we haven't songs going when we got a call for the wheel, shit Dan, I knew that was you. Do you know what I mean? So like it was there's lots of things like that happens, and you're not going to get, like, if you're looking for the reward, that's not what we are looking for. We're looking to make music and do what we love doing, and the rewards will fall at your feet. Do you know what I mean? It's everything kind of, and it's all with good energy. If you're putting out good energy to the universe, you're going to get it back.
Yeah, like I used to get to that see the dreamer thing. That was it. I used to just, everyone used to just slag me, go on, chap, you dreamer for years, like. And like, but that was actually the first tune I made. My first hand tune I made was that, when my dreamer called it. But like everyone that I know now, like that knew me 20 years ago, like I'd say fair play to, like, at the down. I wouldn't be someone that goes out and says I'll do something and not do it. Like, I go out and say probably a million things, but I go out and end up doing that million things over, like. I'm a doer, yeah, more than a sayer.
Yeah, so at the minute, I've been doing this year's one-on-one with lads that came through, but I never really advertised it, so it was more just dealing with lads, just lads that deserved the shot. I was given a shot by a couple of older lads and being shown the ropes, and I was very lucky to have that. And not a lot of people have them kind of people around you that'll give you the chance to kind of prove yourself and do that. But the way I kind of looked at it now is, I'd love to do, I'm starting this course, it's a 4-week course, I do 4 hours. I introduced the art of sampling, drum programming, track sequencing, mixing, everything. And it's what I started when I was 15. And I didn't have anyone, so it probably took me 2 years to get a progressive grasp. Then I went to college and then I kept doing it and kept going. But if I can cut that and kind of get them started from 15, from 14 to 17 is like an ideal time. Even younger again, if you could. But my course is kind of aimed at young teenagers that are trying to find their feet. And this is I will teach an industry standard version. We use our digital audio workstations. We use multiple different digital audio workstations. So that's software that we make music on. So with music has changed. Everything used to be hardware. So hardware would be big synthesizers and from the 70s and 80s and 90s and these vintage things. And they had their own memory on them. But now we all build on software, so all our sounds are on laptops, so it's very accessible and it's very lucky in that sense, which is I kind of introduce in the course. I show a Prodigy track and I show these boys are limited for resources, but look at what they were able to do. So that without them having gone, oh well, I haven't got this big fancy thing or this big fancy thing, they just went and done it. And I was like, I'll work with what I have. And it's that kind of approach, because I didn't have a big studio set up. I had a little tiny 25 key keyboard and I was still...
sometimes when you're limited though, it can be more... You
limit yourself though, you make excuses.
It can be more, your music can be more, like, can be good, like, because it's more simplified. You haven't got a big load of clutter to pick from.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of stuff just on my hardware, stuff like, where I find, like, you're not flicking through like a whole fucking, you know what I mean, a big load of stuff where you're more creative flowing. Like.
You're more appreciative of it as well, so you appreciate the tools that you have, like in that case where like everyone constantly pawing off and going, oh well, I haven't got this and I haven't got that. You're creating obstacles for yourself. Whereas if you just motor through it, what can you do with what you can do? So make the best of what you have. And that's what we've always kind of done, and what we've always done. So I can teach kids how it doesn't matter what genre you're into. Like, and for me, I always seen this as, you see kids playing the PlayStation, the Xboxes, and I've done it myself. You sit there and play FIFA for 12 hours, and I have nothing to show for my time after. I'm mentally drained after. I'd be mentally drained after playing that PlayStation, because you're constantly, young lads know, to be throwing controllers around with aggressive. But that's how aggressive you get. That's what it does to you. But I'm saying, look, you're putting all this aggressive energy, this happy energy, this, and I was going, what, you getting a virtual thing, like a virtual, you won the league with bleeding Stockholm or bleeding Stockport, or, do you know what I mean? It's that kind of mentality where, but I'm going, I can put that same hours into music, and I guarantee I'll have something to show for it when I've finished. Regardless if the track's done, regardless of that, if I put 4 hours into that, I guarantee you will have something to show for that. So it's not having something to show for your time and your energy. And I think the PlayStation stuff, I genuinely think it's made to distract you and stop you from understanding all this. So why not have lads, so then they're playing PlayStation up until they're 19, 20, they're going, where's the world going? The world's on to pass me by, and you don't know, like, although you can have these gaming competitions and all, but not everyone's going to be a professional gamer. So they don't, like, by the time I realised what I wanted to do when I was 15 and what I loved when I was 15. And I'm not saying it has to be music, it could be football, sport, or it could be anything you want. But I think kids are losing that in the sense that they kind of come out of it at 19, 20 and go, what do I like? I like playing FIFA. And I was going, it's not something you can it's not something to be proud of. I wouldn't go, oh yeah, man, again, Gardy, your man again, leading United, won the treble with United in career mode and FIFA, you know?
My motto was do it all anyway.
No, but this is what I'm saying, but you have that kind of mentality that it's, like, I can't be proud of that, but I can be proud of my music either way, you know what I mean? And I could be proud of some rhymes that I've written that I'm going, we just want to hear it. If I heard, I'll spit something, I want him to hear it. And me just hitting, and even without his reaction, I know if I'm confident in what I'm saying, just spitting in front of him. So I think like a lot of that comes to, like, we were lucky in that sense that I say we were well seasoned, because I've been well seasoned since I'm 15 and working since I'm 15. I was in New York when I was 17, and then my first major gig with Axis. So we knew I was well seasoned, but now I'm going, 15 and 16 was 18 now. And now they're already adults and they don't know, and they're all trickling through life. Whereas from 15, I knew what I wanted to do. So I think like a lot of that, if we can catch lads when they're 14, 15, and we can show them the light, even if it could be sound engineering, it could be video editing, it could be, because it all incorporates and it's all in the same kind of boat. So that's one thing for me.
If you're learning one thing, you can always add on to yourself. It's not about, you never take away. So all through your life you learn different things, you come into different life lessons. It's always about us adding on. Remember, like, it's always all the stuff that you're learning, you come around again and you always learn more, and you go up, you get wiser and wiser as you get older then. But it's good to get wiser when you're younger. If you're wiser when you're younger, you'll do well.
As well, you can never know too much, and I think if you think you can know too much, it's a very egotistical way of thinking. Like, we're adults from 30, chaps mid-30s, and we'd still have a craving for knowledge, and not just knowledge as in reading books, as in we want to learn new things. We want to learn how to strip that bleeding speaker and reword it. And
using life is more about living your life, being more present in the moment, enjoying like just your little things through the day. Keep your focus on them. Like, as it says, there's too much distractions now in the world. Put your focus on you and your surroundings, and that's kind of how you evolve. Like, we're at a stage of evolution now, so the more you put your focus on yourself, the more we evolve. Like. Communicating on a molecular level. Got the bolts in, metaphors, metal alive with every stride. Temperature's heaven, the universe, me bride, the nebula Nephilim. Got chi like DMT, leaving competitors peddling. Signed to fight the skeptic for some skeptical questioning. Developing medicine on the elegant medicine, hit the switch and I'm selling the evidence. Time to rev up all me magical elements. All me woke, blessed and majestic excellence. Pegasus resonance, benevolent demoscence, exercising the soul, a matter of relevance. Social programming, political negligence stop us from receiving universal intelligence. Controversy, maleficence, damaging the innocent, blinded by corruption. The answers are in our kid.
Oh, blood. This is something I done when I was probably about 18, 19. Surrounded by negativity, hellish imagery, embedded devilish symmetry that they sell as divinity. I dwell on the deficiencies of a heavenly trinity. How can you measure infinity with esoteric abilities? The vicinity where I be living be killing me. Got me cutting incisions deep. Good decisions we make on the regular. Synchronicity, secular, structure and molecular stability. You know, the mission be to be twisting strawberry swishers off the coast of Sicily, discussing mysteries in our history. See time limits us and the stimulus that's inside of us. Our syllabus is meticulous, keep it lit if you vibing us. Stuck in the snake pit, don't get bit by the poisonous, venomous ones who's depriving us. The system's designed with secrets of a list of requirements for this wishful environment. I'll leave you crystals enlightened from the scriptures of inquisitive writing.